Hello, beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to wait until a few people get in just to see if you guys, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. So as soon as I see someone come in, I will make sure the sound is right. So let's just let a few people come in. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me quite fine. Give it about 2 minutes. While I wait on some people to come in, I'm just going to play around with the sound. So I want to make sure that you guys can hear me well. I see someone watching. If you can hear me, can you please put in the comments that you can hear me? Let's go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to talk without the mic. So if you're watching, just let me know if you can hear me. Okay, thank you, Keto. And Nashaya, I don't want to say it wrong. I'm sorry if I did, but thank you guys for coming to let me know that you can hear me. Let me turn this mic off. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. As you can see, I'm getting more comfortable getting on live. It's the second time. I think I have something worth sharing with you guys today. I'm going to let a few more people come in. Give it about 2 minutes before I share this word. So welcome everyone. Welcome. As always, every time I go on live, I want to know where you guys are from. If you tell me before, you don't have to do it again. But if you are new to my lives, let me know where you're coming from. That will help me tremendously. But let's let a few more people come in. And Mr. Knight, thank you. I see you. We're getting ready to start. I just want to let some people come in so they don't miss the word that I'm getting ready to share. Okay, South Africa. Wow. So I can interact with you guys a little bit more today because I'm comfortable now. So I'm going to try to have, conversations with you guys on this live. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the word. Like I said, welcome everyone for joining. You're from India? Oh my gosh. Hello. Welcome. So today I want to let you guys know that you are loved more than you know, okay? You are very, very special. You are more valuable than you think that you are, okay? God has placed something on the inside of you that is going to that will bring you abundance, that will bring you prosperity. And I know a lot of us work 9 to 5s, and we throw away the gifts and not even just throw them away, but we don't really put in a lot of time and energy into the gifts that God has placed into us. So what we're going to be talking about today is that there is something valuable inside of you that God has placed inside of you that he wants to use in order to bring you abundance and prosperity. Because as we all know from the scriptures, it says that your gifts will make room for you. Okay. And I want to start by reading Matthew 25. If I'm reading a lot, because I'm going to read from the Bible today. And I just want to let y'all know that. So it's maybe a little time consuming. I'm not going to read too much, but I do want to read Matthew 25, um, verses 14 through 30. And I already marked it. So all right. So it says, "For it is just like a man about to go on a journey. He called his own servants and entrusted his possessions to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2 talents, and to another 1 talent, depending on one's ability. Then he went on a journey. Immediately, the man who had received 5 talents went, put them to work, and earned 5 more. In the same way, the man with 2 earned 2 more. But the man who had received 1 talent went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. The man who had received 5 talents approached, presented 5 more talents, and said, 'Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I earned 5 more talents.' And I want you guys to listen to this part, okay? The master said to him, 'Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Share your master's joy.' The man with 2 talents also approached and said, 'Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I earned 2 more talents.' His master said to him, 'Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Share your master's joy.' The man who had received 1 talent also approached and said, 'Master, I know you. You're a harsh man, reaping where you haven't sown and gathering where you haven't scattered seed. So I was afraid and went off and hid your talent in the ground. See, you have what is yours.' His master replied to him, 'You evil, lazy servant. If you knew that I reap where I haven't sown and gather where I haven't scattered, then you should have deposited my money with the bankers, and I would have received my money back with interest when I return.' So it's more scriptures after that pertaining to that. But as you can see, the first, I think one he gave 5, the other one he gave 2. The one with the 5, he went out and immediately put to work what the Lord has given him. His master didn't give him any instructions. He didn't say, 'Hey, I want you to do this, boom, 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 use it this way.' No, he went out on his own and used what he had. And I want y'all to hold on to that too, because we're going to go into that. He used what he had to multiply. And the man said, he told him, he said, 'You were faithful over a few things. Now I will put you in charge of many.' So what God has given you, the gift that God has given you, when you put it to work, you got to use what you got. You got to use what you got. I don't care if it's small. I don't care if it's small to you. One thing I really appreciate about my parents, we were overlooked, as I mentioned in my last live. We were overlooked a lot because it was a lot of us. But at the same time, our parents allowed us to be us. They didn't force us to be anybody else. They didn't say, 'Hey, I want you, even though I know you like this, I need you to become this because it's going to make you more money.' Our parents allowed us to sit in our gifts. They knew that I would like to read, so they would always buy me books. They knew I like to write stories and books or whatever, so they would buy me notebooks. They allow me to use and develop my gifts to now I'm able to write books on my own as an adult, which you guys will be able to read them soon when they're on my website. But that's one thing that I love about my parents. They allowed us to figure out who we were as kids and what we like to do. So now that I'm older, I'm not searching, how do I say this? I'm not being something other than myself. I'm not being something that my parents told me that I had to be. Instead, I'm using what I have. I'm using my gifts. I knew that I always like to help people. So I used that to the best of my ability, even when I didn't know that it was something that God has placed inside of me. And I'm bringing it up for a reason, because it's certain things that you had in you as a kid that you may have brushed off. Like you probably like to draw, you probably were into cars, you probably wanted to be a mechanic, but you probably have heard like those things aren't going to make you any money, those things aren't going to make you prosperous. So you may have thrown those little things away instead of nurturing what was in you since you was a kid, because that's something that God has placed in you, because he knew one day if you really tapped into that, he would be able to use that and make you more abundant. He would be able to use that for his glory. But in the process, you get to see how your gifts that he placed inside of you will make you great. And I hope that is making sense to you guys. So what I did want to do is give you guys a chance to share with me in the comments, what is one thing that you feel that God has placed inside of you. It may be, you may like to do hair, you may like to do poetry. I don't know what is. I want some of you guys to comment in there. Tell me one thing that you feel like God has placed inside of you that you really don't have. You probably forgot about it. You probably too busy with your 9 to 5 that you didn't really have the time to put, or the effort to put into that gift. So if you feel comfortable enough to share that with me, I would love for you to comment that. And I'm going to give you guys some time. And if you don't know, if you don't know what's inside of you, if you don't know what God put inside of you that is deemed as valuable, is something that he said, okay, this is a gift that I put inside of you and I want you to use it, I advise you to ask the Creator. Nobody can tell you what's inside of you better than the Creator. Because I know some of us, we like, look, there's nothing special about me. There's nothing that I can do besides just be what the world tell you to do. But God is like, or be what the world tell you to be. But God has placed something inside of you and he knows. So if you don't know, I advise you to ask the Lord, what is it inside of me that you placed inside of me that I can use, where I don't have to work a 9 to 5 my whole entire life? Because I know that's not why I'm here. Now, I'm not knocking 9 to 5s, y'all. I'm not, because that's what, I was able to pay my bills with a 9 to 5. Okay. I'm not knocking those, but there's something inside of you that God has put in you to where he knew that your gifts will bring abundance and prosperity, where it will bring him glory. I see somebody saying boxing. Somebody said to feed the people. Hello, KYCN Media. Somebody said communication. I see that. Okay. Thank you guys for sharing that with me. I'm having you guys share this because I want you to really, after this live, I want you to sit with this. I want you to ask God, what can I do with this gift? I want you to actually sit down with him and say, God, how can I use this and multiply it? Because I know you didn't give me this gift for no reason. I know you didn't. So I'm going to need you to show me, because I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I'm just letting the Spirit just take me where he want to take me. Okay. So God created the earth. Okay. He spoke it. He said, let there be light, and there was light. We were created in the image of God. That means that you are also a creator yourself. So you're going to have to, some of you may not know what to do right now with those gifts. You may know the gifts that you have, but you may not know what to do with those gifts. So you have to, because you are a creator just like God, you need to sit back and spend time with the Spirit so that the Spirit can give you creative ideas. When God first, okay, I always knew, and I love to help people. When I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a social worker. Okay, that's not what I thought I was going to be. Until somebody said, I speak to the youth about respecting others as they learn new jobs, etc. Also to get better at learning to grow in a positive light daily. Okay. So as I was saying, I'm gonna get back to the comments. I don't want to lose my train of thought. So I always knew that I wanted to be a social worker. But God stopped me in the middle of my tracks and he sent me to go to Bible college. And that's where I learned that I was supposed to work for his kingdom. As far as like being a social worker, he was using that to where I was bringing people to him. I was healing people through his words. And so I didn't know that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. Even going on live on YouTube, I didn't know any of that. What I did was I started praying. Okay, I'm like, okay, God, I know that you put this gift in me. I know that you want to use my gift of helping people. So what is it that you need me to do? And God started leading me step by step. I didn't get here overnight. It was God started. He said, okay, I had to use what I had. Okay. I didn't always have a MacBook to get on YouTube live. I didn't always have a camera. I didn't always have any of that. Like I said, I'm getting I was expecting to go a certain way, but I don't know. I'm just going to let the Spirit guide me. It's the same as Moses. Like when God came to Moses and he was telling Moses what he wanted him to do. And Moses was like, what if people don't believe me? What if people don't believe me? God said, what is it that you have in your hand? He had a walking stick, a little walking stick. He said, throw it down on the ground. He threw the walking stick on the ground. It turned into a snake. And God was showing him that you have to use what is in your hand. So when right now you may not know what to do fully with the gift that God has given you, but when you start to ask God, show me what is in my hand. Okay, I know that I'm supposed to be communicating with people. Somebody said boxing. Like, I know I'm supposed to be working in the field of boxing. Somebody speaks to the youth. I know I'm supposed to speak to the youth. God, show me, what do I need, what is in my hand right now at this very moment that I can do, because you don't want to sit there and like the one with one talent. God, I don't have anything. I don't have enough. I don't have what this person have. I don't have this money. I don't have any of that. God, like, I don't care about that. What do you have in your hand? I put something in you for a reason, and there's resources around you for you to use. I don't care if it looks small. Use what you have. All I got right now is a MacBook and these mics. Okay, that's all I have. But I'm using it. And I'm reaching people today. And as time goes on, God's going to continue to give me more resources, because I was faithful with little things. I was faithful with the little things. Y'all gonna look up, and I'm gonna be beyond this. You're gonna look up one day when you start to use what is in your hand. You're gonna look up one day and you're gonna be further than where you are right now in this moment. And so my whole point of this is letting you know that you're more valuable than you think that you are. You're more valuable than working for somebody else all the days of your life. Not saying that that's the bad thing. I'm not saying that, but I know that we all have a desire to be our own boss. And at some point in time, we want to sit there and make our own money by doing what we love. And there's something in you that you love to do, but you're sitting on it. If you work a 9 to 5, you sacrifice 2 hours when you get home and invest in your dreams, because that gift is what is going to bring you abundance and prosperity. God knows how to use it. He knows how to use it. And if you just sit with him and ask him, God, what can I do with the gifts that you have given me? And like I said, if you don't know the gifts that God has given you, ask him. Nobody knows you better than the Creator, not your parents, not your friends, not the world, social media. Nobody knows you better than the Creator. He is the one who can show you, like, hey, this is what I put inside of you, and this is what I need you to use. Frank, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you're saying you have no interest in this live, I don't know. I don't want to assume that I know what you're talking about, but if that's where you're going with it, you can politely slide on out of here, buddy. But if I'm taking that the wrong way, then let me know that. But if that's what you're saying, please slide on out. Okay, but for the people that are interested, okay, in knowing what is inside of you, please use what I'm saying. Go sit with God, because I want to see you prosper in life. I want to see you doing what you love, because that is what God wants for you as well. He don't want you slaving for anybody else. If anything, you're gonna be working for him. But first, you got to see what he put inside of you, and you have to use it to the best of your ability, so that he can so that He said, you were faithful over a few things. Now I will make you in charge of many. If you show him that you're faithful with the little things, with what you have, he will give you more. He will give you more. But first you have to see and believe that there's something valuable in you. Let's see. I don't have any more comments at the moment. But if you have any questions for me, I will be glad to answer them for you all. And I do want to say thank you all for tuning in. I see 20 people in right now. And I am so glad. I'm thankful that you all took the time to listen to the words that I'm having to say to you all. I'm just going to give you all a free minute just in case you have any questions for me before I end the live. But please do not let your talents go to waste, okay? That is something special. That is something valuable. That's going to be the thing. Some of us are chasing success, okay? Chasing the money, chasing all these things, and not knowing that what's really going to get you there is the thing that God put in you, the gifts that God put in you. You may have counted it as small, or people may have talked about you and said, hey, man, that's lame. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, that's not going to make you no money. That's not going to get you nowhere. Please, no. That thing that you think is small is that thing that's going to make you great. Okay? That's that thing. That's that thing. God save me. I do work for God. Listening to this episode, I'm quite sure that's going to be upset about the virtues. I'm reading about the book of anyone. So, as always, I'm going to go ahead and end the live, you guys. I don't really see any questions or anything about what I had to say. I don't think I have anything left to say to you guys. Besides, just cut out the what ifs. Cut out the what ifs. Just like Moses, he had a lot of insecurities. But God said, I don't care about that. What's in your hand? Use what's in your hand. Use what's in your hand. And he's going to help you the rest of the way. He's going to supply everything else that you need along the way. Just start with what you have. You're welcome, Keto. Just start with what you have, because it's special. It's valuable. You're special. You're valuable. Thank you, you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live. And as always, know that I love you and know that God loves you as well. And I hope to see you on the next live.